Up this while I was transferring the title. So this is for the historic or authentic plates. I'm going to put authentic on it. I bought a 74 Michigan cycle plate from eBay, and I'll just so this you can kind of see how Michigan does their, that's historic. I'm not doing historic, I'm doing this right here, authentic, which I think is $35, and that's good for the life of the that you have it. So I paid $35 for the plates on that, who knows, 35 40 years ago, back when it was 25 years old. And so yeah, I've never had to renew them. But anyway, that's kind of what we're going to do. So as soon as the license plate comes, because I got to send in a photo of the, well, you can see what I got to do right here. Proof of title. So I'll send a copy. I'll copy it on the thing. And proof of insurance, $35. And I think you got to send them a photo, color photo, because the plate has to be the correct color for the year. You can't paint it the color of your vehicle or whatever. But anyway, this is for getting the bike registered, and right now I'm just waiting on a ton of parts, so I'm not going to do much on it today other than look at it and wait on parts so I can get to going on it. Anyway, that's it. We'll get moving on the video a little more as I get parts. Oh, and one more note, the battery is fully charged, so we'll get this installed here shortly. And just fooling with the bike, I put a new hose on the float drain. I routed the hose correctly for the battery, and I was just making a pigtail for the battery. I'm going to put shrink wrap on these here in a second, and then I'm just going to put male spades in there. For now, I ordered a new plug connector. It's both the female and female, or male and female, with the little things that go in there, but I only need the male one, so I'll just use the end. But yeah, it's the plug is available, but the whole harness isn't. So anyway, I got the plug coming, and we're making up a harness. Put some shrink wrap on the ends, just you know, so there isn't that much extra bare metal hanging out there from the battery posts. All right, I'm going to solder these, and I just kind of tin that lightly. Then I put this at the end where I want, and then I put the solder here until it sucks it in. When it sucks it in, which is right there, a little one beyond, so I'm going to get that off. There we go. And then I'll just shrink wrap that, and that'll be the positive battery cable, and that's just temporary. When I get the proper connector, I'll cut that off. I intentionally made the wire a little long just to make this. So that's how it's going to go in until I get the connector. It's not coming out. That's in there nice and firm. And I'll hook the battery up just before I set it in there. So let me get the negative done. I'll get the battery in, then we're going to check all the lights and electrical. The battery's installed. I got a strap coming. I got, like I say, the connector, some other things. So anyway, that's in, and we'll check the lights here in a moment. I think I'm going to find where I set the key. Well, maybe now we'll get it on video. Third try here. The battery just went dead the second time. The first time, for some reason, it didn't take any video. But anyway, we turned the key on, and we got the neutral light. This is the dash or gauge light. That works. But when I put the signals on, the signals work, but that indicator doesn't. So the bulb's bad. That's 3 watt, 1.7 watt, 3 watt. So I went and looked through my hoard, and I did not have another 3 watts. So, and I took the neutral light and put it over here, and it works. So anyway, we're gonna get some bulbs ordered for it, but you can kind of see all the lights work. Tail light. Put my foot on the brake. We got a brake light. And when I use the front handlebar thing. You can see the dash lights dim there, but yeah, that dims. So anyway, all the lights, everything works. Let's try the horn. I haven't tried that yet. Yep, horn works. So everything works except for one lamp. And I'll get some lamps on the way for that. Seeing parts have been coming in. These are the grommets for here. I replaced them on this. You can see them there. Because I had to take this out, you know, to see what the bulb was. But when I take them out, I buff all these up. Look at that. They come up like brand new. I'll show you. I just put the thing in. I just turn it one thing at a time as I buff it. But I'll just show you as I go here. It's hard to do it one-handed. That just brings the shine out like crazy in it. And then so I get it all, what I do is I just take the nut one thing over, and then I'll do it one more time, and that way I get all of it and have a nice shiny chrome nut on the speedometer. You know, all this is going to come apart again, but this will just save me the time in buffing this when I am doing all the restoration. This will already be done, you know. I mean, it's apart. So I figure, why not? Anyway, let me finish this up, and I'm waiting on one more grommet. That's the number, if you're interested. And I got an engine gasket set too, because the whole gasket set was cheaper than just buying individual gaskets, because I'm probably going to pull this cover, because this is different finish, so I'll pull this cover to paint it. And there's a centrifugal oil filter in here, and I'll take it apart and clean it and paint the cover, and then put it back on, maybe replace the kickstart shaft seal. And anyway, and I want to adjust the valve tappet, so you know there's gaskets there. And like I say, by the time I bought the gasket separately, I was just cheaper to buy the whole complete engine kit. So there we go. So we're starting to get some parts. There you can kind of see the rubbers in there, and that side's nice and secure. This side's still a little loose because I'm waiting on that rubber. But I'll, you know, when I take it apart to paint it up, I'll buff these, and I'll buff these nuts, and you know, anything, all these bolts that are chrome, I'll buff them. They'll shine up just like this nut. Buff the forks. These I might have to sand and buff. I don't know. We'll see. They're pretty rough to finish, but we'll see what we have to do with them and get everything spiffied up. All this will, you know, all this chrome will just gleam. It just, I can't get over how everything just shines up on it. So we'll get this other grommet, get the light bulb. As soon as the license plate comes, I'll send a photocopy of her, you know, I'll print it out. I got to send them a copy of the title and a copy of the plate, and you know, just some money, and then they send me the registration for the plate in the mail. So that'll probably take about 2 weeks. You know how the state, anything state is slow as heck. But anyway, that's coming together. Another day and more parts. So I got these a few days ago. These are not exactly the same as the OEM, but they're close enough to it. And the OEM are available, are just like 3 times the price. These were $9 for the pair, and I think the OEM are about $30. And that's just one of them. And I got these new clutch and brake levers. So hopefully we can get that all together. And I got the one remaining grommet I need for the speedometer, the battery hold down strap, and the fork rebuild kit, which these are the little nylon things that go on they go on down in the forks. And then this is the dust boot and the seals. So maybe this weekend, if I get a chance, I got to get some fork oil, and I'll rebuild the forks and maybe clean these up. And I got the plate, which I'm going to mount to it, and I already sent in, the bike is insured, and I just mailed in the thing to get this registered to the bike as authentic. Oh, and I ordered a XL250 thing that's supposed to be on this cover, so that's coming too. And there's going to be other odds and ends that I need to get for this bike, obviously, as I go through it. But right now I'm getting the obvious stuff, getting everything working. That's going to be on there. So I got to find some fasteners for this that all look the same, that are nice. I'm going to see if I have some stainless steel, so, you know, they don't get crummy looking. But anyway, that's my plethora of parts I got today. So as I work on it, I'll show you what I do. There we go, the first time this bike has ever had a license plate on it. I don't know if I stated this or not, but yeah, I bought the bike from the original owner. He bought the bike brand new. And how I got the bike was Tom, my gardener friend that does the gardens at Haney's. He was the one that set me up with the Catalina too. Gave the guy that owned the Catalina my phone number, and he gave this guy my phone number. He was in there wondering if he knew anyone that would like to, you know, buy a Honda XL250, and he gave him my phone number. And he called me last, I don't know, August, I think it was, while I was doing radiation. And so I didn't really have the faculties to go look at the bike while I was getting my radiation treatments. And then after I had 2 months, so then by the end of October, before I was really feeling good enough to get out and do things, I called him back to go look at the bike and didn't get an answer. And then when I finally did hear from him, he had had a heart attack. And then when he was in the hospital for a while with his heart attack, and then they discovered he had bladder cancer. So he had surgery for the heart attack, he had surgery for the bladder cancer, and then the spring was as soon as he was feeling better. And he just called me out of the blue and asked me if I was still interested, and I said yes. And I told him I was free right then and there. I got in the truck and left immediately and went and looked at the bike and bought it on the spot. So yeah, he had the title and I had the truck and the ramp and everything, so that's how I got this bike. Apparently he'd purchased it back in '74 for his daughter to ride up north at their cottage up near Atlanta, Michigan, and apparently she never rode it. And you saw it had 2008 ORV off-road vehicle sticker on here. You have to have those if you ride on state land with your off-road vehicle. If it, you know, whether it's registered or not, if you're on state land, you have to have an ORV sticker. But I probably won't ride this off-road up there. Anyway, it's insured, fully insured, and as soon as I get the registration from the state, which will probably be about 10 business days, we'll take it out for a ride. And like I say, in the meantime, hopefully this weekend I can tackle the forks, because the suspension is really springy on the front. Yeah, you can see there's a difference in these. I might just eventually get the correct original ones for the bike. I got them on the 175. I think I'll put them on this. But anyway, I'm going to change the levers to get rid of this bent lever with one of these, and at least clean this up as I do it. And like I say, it's that much less I got to restore when I rip the bike apart. I'm not going to put the grips, well, I could put it on the throttle, but I'm not going to put it on this end until that's directly on the bar, and they're sometimes hard to get off once you get them on, so that's why I'm going to wait to put that one on. But this one will come off with the throttle thing when I take it apart. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this original one. This original one here, this little tab that holds it, you can see is torn there, and that's why it was coming off, was because of that. So that one needs to be replaced. But you can see there is a difference in the aftermarket as opposed to the OEM, but these will do for now. And I don't know, I'm just going to put this one back on, because I'll clean it up and put it back on, because there's really nothing wrong with it. But it's pretty simple You just take this bolt out and then this thing comes off and the cable pops out of there. They're pretty simple. Got that little bit out, and of course I'm going to give it a buffing up. I mean, you know, like I say, it's eventually going to have to be done, and this just makes things a whole lot nicer. Look at that, just buff up like brand new. All right, let me go around and buff this up all the way around. We'll reinstall it with the original cover. You got the new brake lever on. And it looks really nice. That's the original boot. I just cleaned it up. I don't like the new ones, so I think I have some extras of these from the XL175. I think I had a few, so I might have one stashed somewhere, but yeah, I just don't like these, so I'm going to send these ones back. These are not Honda, and they're just generic, and I don't like them. So anyway, we're going to put this one back on. I'll clean it up, and it'll be due until I get a, you know, when I go to restore the bike. But I put the clutch thing on and it wasn't retracting all the way, and so I greased the fitting here. You can see maybe in there, you can see the clutch mechanism move. I can't hold a light, and let me see if I can maybe. There you go. So when that gets lack of grease, it gets hard to move. This greases the pivot in there, and so that's greased up now. Now let me this rubber grommet goes back on. It has an arrow on it, so it goes on a certain way, and I gotta there. I think it goes on where it points at the, I don't know which way it points. I'll look in the manual, but I think it points in the grease fitting. I'm going to wipe that up a little bit more and clean this off, and then we'll put it back together. Let's see, if usually these snap when you go to straighten them, and it definitely buggers them out. Whoops. Definitely destroys them because it mars them and they get twisted. But anyway, I'm going to, just for the heck of it, just see if it'll straighten out. If it doesn't, well, not out anything. I got a brand new one installed on there, right? That plastic stuff, that's clear plastic coating's coming off. I was surprised if this thing straightens out without busting. It is so bent up. You can see how that plastic stuff's all come off, and it's marring them up. But you know, if you're in need of just getting your bike going so you can ride it, sometimes this is the way to do it. Anyway, there, it's still bent. As you can see, it's bent up, but you know, it's straightened up for the most part to where it would be usable if you had no other option. And I have another option. It's called a new lever. So there we go. Yeah, I don't think that's going to bend without snapping. Alright, I'm just jarring you guys around everywhere. Anyway, I'm just going to throw that away. It's no good. I'll keep this one maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw them both away. But anyway, there we go. We got a new. And I'm going to put the rubber boot on here in a second. I'm going to just clean it up, and this will do for now till I restore the bike. Alright, both grips are both control clutch. And this almost stays in place. I might be able to just temporarily glue it with some contact cement or something right there, because it does clip on and tries to stay clipped, but this other one's clipped on, so it looks a lot better. And I'll I'll put a new Honda one on there when I restore the bike. This one I'll just leave on. It's nothing wrong with it. And that works good. So anyway, we're slowly plugging away at the odds and ends on it. And I'm going to put this on and this on, and then I might end the video and then start a new video when we do the shock absorber rebuilds. The front forks I think we'll do just on a video on itself. I got the little bushing in there. Now all the gauges are nice and tight in there, don't bounce around and stuff. So that's done, and put the strap on the battery. I'm still waiting on the connector, the correct one, but yeah, we got quite a bit odds and ends. So, you know, like I said, I'd like to get this thing on the road soon so I can, you know, get all the bugs worked out of it before I strip it down to the frame and restore it. But anyway, I'm gonna make this as part 2 of the video, and then part 3 will be rebuilding the front forks. I still got to pick up some fork oil, so I got to run to the auto parts and get some of that, and then I should have everything to do that, and that'll be in the next video. But I'm going to end this one here. If you enjoyed it, definitely hit the like button, because it certainly helps me out. If you like my channel, that 348 engine icon that pops up there will help you subscribe, and thank you for watching my video.